I'm Carol Smith. When I first saw these decorator blocks from Plaid, I was amazed to see that they had so many uses. They can make such a difference in your home decor and in your wardrobe. You can personalize stationery and gifts and even spruce up around the outside of your home. You can create a hand-painted look with the ease of a simple stamping technique. Stick with me and you'll see how easy it is to use Plaid decorator blocks. Let's get started with some great ideas for decorating your home. Notice this before shot of a corner wall space. Voila! What do you think? I've transformed it into a beautifully decorated room, and it was so easy with decorator blocks. You know, when I stood in front of this wall, I was a little intimidated. My problem was, where do I put the first design? First, we have the blocks. Now, they come from a very special rubber, and they're pre-cut, so we don't even have to cut them out. Ooh, that would be too hard. Now, also, they have a handle. The handle is to help us place them on the wall. Inside each block is little cuts. They're not cut all the way through, but this helps us to get some really unique designing. These are the veins of this leaf. Now, we're going to do this ivy pattern. We have 4 different sizes. Let's just punch those out. Now, once you get them punched out, then we have the next thing is, okay, where do we start? Well, inside there is, I call this a cheat sheet, because it has some full-size designs that have already been blocked for me. And they look the way I want to aim mine to look. Now, on the back, there are some other designs. This will show me how to blow out my design to a larger space, maybe a wall or a corner or over a window like I've had in my little corner area here. Now, let's get started. We're going to use some very special paint. Not just any acrylic paint will do. These are decorator block glazes. The difference is that they're translucent, and that's going to help us have that look of realism that's so important. Now, I'm going to just squeeze some out on a plate. It's very simple materials. A paper plate, then you don't have to wash it. The paints are non-toxic, so that's great. You know, even the kids, if you wanted to do a child's room, your child could help you. You could let them make a few little block patterns. I'm going to put a little bit of brown here, and I'll show you what that's for. Notice what a small amount I'm putting on the plate. That's because the glazes go such a long way. Now, I have 2 brushes here, and I'm going to use the flat one. Now, to load the block, I'm going to use 2 colors because that's going to give me some natural shading without any effort. You know, I'm really not a painter, and shading is something I just never have been very good at. But because of the decorative blocking system, I can actually get shading without doing anything special. Now, after I've loaded it, notice I didn't put on very much. Here's one more corner. I want to cover each corner. Just cover it completely. I'm going to take it up, holding it by the handle, and I'm going to pick out a space on my wall. Now, I started at the corner, and I'm going across to complete the ceiling border. Now, notice I let go of the handle as I place it on the wall. And then we just press, walking your fingers completely over the block, making sure that you put a little pressure. Now, we peel that off, and I have a nice dark print. Now, I can use this again, actually by just moving it and placing it close to the one I've already done and still pressing. I'm going to hold the top of my wall. Yours wouldn't be quite as wiggly as mine. Okay, I press and walk it. Now, notice that I have a lighter print. I can even do a third one. Same technique, just pressing it. Now, as I lift it up, it's light enough now that it's almost created a shadow, almost like that leaf was further behind. This is what contributes to the realism of the technique. I have a couple of different sizes, and I can spread those out, but as always, the technique is the same. Place the paint on the block, and then press it on the wall 1 or more times. It's really so easy. After we get a few leaves on, then we might want to stop there and put in some vines, because vines will really bring that design to life for you. I use the pointed brush for this, and I'm going to just dip it in a little bit of water and then swirl it into my paint. I'm actually thinning the paint just a little. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of brown in this because ivy vines have some brown in them. So now that we have the water and it's thinned, we just really be free with it. Just bring the vines. You don't want to paint them in as much as just swirl them to the leaves. and we can actually come down and put some tendrils. Now, if we don't have quite enough water, we can stop there and come back, and that will allow us to finish that. We just want to wiggle it so that it looks natural. That really is all there is to the technique. Now, I want to show you, though, by just changing the shape of the blocks and the placement, I can combine a number of different looks. Here I've run a border along the chair rail, and this gives me a feeling, you know, that putting it on the chair rail like this will actually lower the ceiling. If you have high ceilings, that's a great technique. Here I've got a window, and I just placed it around the window. What I love about this is I can make it look just like it's draping down. I can follow the architectural details. It's so much fun to decorate with it, but let me show you what we can do now to some accessories. It's so easy. You know, blank linens are so much less expensive than the decorator ones. We're going to play with some different blocks. Look at all the ones I have to choose from. We've done the ivy here. This was an easy one. This one, we just have a rose shape, and we have a variety of sizes. We have some buds, a couple of sizes of buds, and some different shaped leaves. Here's a trumpet flower, a tulip. Oh, and I love to do the fruits. The fruits are so much fun, and they're easy to do. This is an apple in a couple of sizes, some pears, and some grapes. Oh, I love grapes. Let me show you how easy it is. It's the same technique. Let's just press out an apple here. And I've got a little tub here. This is, believe it or not, I could press all these linens with just this little bit of paint. Let me get a leaf, and we're going to do the same technique. We just paint it on our apple using the flat brush. Now, I can even vary a little bit of color in there if I want. But you know, on fabric, you cannot do as many repeats because the fabric is going to act like a sponge, and it's just going to sort of soak it up. And you get also some natural texture. So let's just put that on there like this. Now we can come back with the leaf. Oops, I had one out already. Here it is. Probably 1 or 2 leaves will be plenty on this. Now we lift this up. There's my apple. See that shading I was talking about? Let's put one over on this side and one over on this side. You know, I love this. After you get started, once you make that first press, you'll find yourself relaxing and really having fun. You know, there's another thing you can do. We have some blue on this one. And you know what we use for this? The extra blocking rubber that you have on your pad, you can cut into shapes and actually make a handle for them with a paintbrush. And that's how I did this, just dipping in the blue. I did the dark one, then the light one, then another dark one, then another light one. And I made the easiest checkerboard pattern you can imagine. Now let's look at some of the finished projects. You know, I love to go to flea markets and pick up those assorted pieces of furniture, those little treasures. And sometimes they have a finish on them that I don't want to strip off. So what I do is just put a base coat on and block it. I made this piece to coordinate with a wall similar to that one we have over there. You know, because you can use the decorator glazes on fabric, you can coordinate linens with assorted other pieces, like this wooden plaque. Pillows are a great decorator accent. This has lilacs on it. Looks great in this chair, doesn't it? You know, floor cloths are very popular, and now you can get them pre-finished. All you have to do is glue the raw edges under. I marbleized this finish with the decorator glazes and a simple sponge, and then blocked it. I love beautiful linens, and because we can coordinate again, we can even make it match a teapot. There is no end to how you can coordinate your home decor with decorator blocks. The key is to be creative. With plaid decorator blocks, you can have a fully custom designed wardrobe. It's simple. Take a look at this. Now this looks really very difficult, but it was so easy. We used a different blocking on this project. These are the roses. Now notice that there are about 5 different shapes here. We just press them out. They're pre-cut, and they have that wonderful detailing in each one. Now I want to take the rose first because that'll be the key placement item. Also, if I have any question about what I want, how I want to place it, I can always look at the guide. This shows me a number of different groupings, and even on the back I can have even bigger groupings. If I were doing a whole outfit, I might want to repeat some of these down on the skirt. Now, I'm going to use about 3 colors here, but first for the rose, I think I'll use the burgundy. Now I want to put on just an even coverage, not too much. I could also add another color. I have a pink here, and it would be beautiful if I wanted to highlight around the edges. But let's just press with this. Now I'm going to press similar or mirror image to the one that I already have on there. Just press. This is so easy. I love blocking on fabric. Usually I only try to do one print when I'm blocking on fabric. Now let's do a leaf. Okay, I love this green, this ivy green. Now we can add another color to this if we like. But on our sample, we only used one. You can always add some shading, and that makes you look like even more of an artist without having to be one. Okay, we come back and let's put a leaf here. Now we can try another one. Sometimes you'll get it a little darker. I also like to roll the block slightly if I want it to look like it's tucked underneath, and that way I get sort of half a print. Now on a bud, this is fun because you actually put two colors on the block like this. I can put the burgundy on the block, the rose part, and then the green actually on the same thing. Let's just make one little bud right there. Ah, so easy. Can you see that in just a few more minutes, I could have this sweatshirt completed and wear it out to jog? Yeah, right. Okay. Let's look at some other designs we can make. You know, depending on the blocks that you use, you can get a lot of different designs. Here we have an ivy, the rose. Love this geranium. Wouldn't this be great on a denim shirt? We have some trumpet vines, some tulips, and then fruit are great. You know, you can use fruit on wearables too. I love to have a denim shirt to use in the kitchen. You can even put it on an apron. Look at this piece. This we did with the tiniest little leaf of the ivy, and we just blocked it all over. But first we sponged on some of the glazes. And what we do is just use a kitchen sponge, and you can lighten it a little bit with water, not too much water or it will lighten it too much. But you could even put your wearables in this. You know, if you have a lot of those plain gift boxes, while your blocks still have the paint on them, you could block a couple of those. So if you have a last-minute gift you have to run for, you've got something. Tin is fun. There are a lot of tin shapes, and they're nice and big for the price. You get so much for your money. And look how neat this looks with the same rose that we had on our sweatshirt. This is a little different look. We've used a couple of more colors here, and I love the way the blue's tied in. Come over, let's look at some more wearables that we can do. This ivy design looks great on the khaki color. You could wear this out in the garden, except the way I garden, the knees would be all brown. It would be a mess. Denim is fun, you know, especially for kids. Kids have those great wearables that are so expensive. Imagine paying $50 for something that somebody else hand-painted. You're actually paying them to have the fun that you can have. If you want to take decorator blocks out for the evening, it's easy. Just by the fabric you select, you sort of set the tone of what the garment will be used for. This is an office look. I love to have hand-painted office wear because the girls in the office, you know, they let me tell them the story of how I made it and how easy it was. It's fun, kind of an ego trip for me. I love cherries. You can almost taste these. This could be, you know, you could wear this for evening as well as, I don't think I'd jog in this one. Hats, you can even do tablecloths. And, you know, this is an easy look. This is the same rose that we used on that sweatshirt. Look how elegant it looks. It'd be great in a Victorian home. Even a shopping bag. Shopping sounds like a great idea. I want to pick up those bargains. Now's the time of year you can really find some great ones and have a wardrobe that looks like a designer painted it. Here's a look at some of the things that you can do to spruce up around the outside of your home. You can personalize your gardening gloves, your watering can, even your planter. Let's get started on our flower pot. I love flower pots. I have a whole garage full of them. And you know, sometimes I wonder, what am I going to do with all of these? Look at this. Isn't this exciting? We have the papa, the mama, and even the little baby. We're going to just block one of these. You know, this technique is so easy with the blocks. These are the mini florals, and we have 14 different leaves and the different plants that go together. We're going to use the trumpet vine and these two little leaves. We're going to use our glazes, some blue and some gold. I'm going to start and load it around the blue first. Now, when you do two colors on a block, you might want to leave the brighter one for the second loading. Just go around the edge. Now I can come back with my gold and just touch right in the center. Then it doesn't mix so much that I get a green there. Okay, now we'll just block on our pot. Now we roll it around. The blocks are great for a curved surface, and I may want to come back after I do one and do a little shadow one behind it over to the side. Now let's put some leaves. A couple of colors here. I'm going to use my yellow brush because there's just some automatic because I'm getting to the age that I'm going to have a daughter getting married very soon. You buy so many special mementos for the wedding. We've made one for the bride's mother because that may be the biggest day of her life. When your daughter gets married, it's a great day. We also made one for the groom. Who knows what he would keep in there? It'd be interesting. Now, wasn't this easy? Plaid decorator blocks are pre-cut, reusable, easy to clean, and adaptable to any painting surface. You can create a variety of custom-made accessories and decorations. No home should be without plaid decorator blocks. I'm Carol Smith, and thank you for joining me.
Are you ready to begin blocking? Plaid decorator block designs are available in a wide range of pre-cut shapes, as well as blank block printing material with which you can cut your own design. The designs are die-cut in a soft and durable stamping material that is easy to clean and can be used time and time again. Each block has its own handle that makes loading and setting the block onto the surface easier. Decorator blocks are flexible enough to use on just about any surface, around corners, over molding trims, and on most rounded surfaces. To make it easy, each decorator block package comes with a pattern sheet that will show you how to make groupings with the block design. Use these examples to print the groupings on practice paper. Rinse and dry brush between application of color groups. Blocked groupings can be used for single spot motifs or combined to create borders, corners, and overall patterns. Available in a beautiful array of colors, decorator blocks' high-quality glazes are a rich, thick block printing medium with subtle transparency. Thanks to its gel-like consistency, each print will possess its own natural shading, making your projects look like an artist created them. Decorator blocks' glazes are water-based and non-toxic. Color-fast on fabrics, glazes make total room coordination a breeze. A full series of books covers all aspects of block printing. Each book includes basic instructions plus many projects and photos of creative decorating ideas. Plaid's full line of decorator blocks makes it easy for you to use the exciting technique of block printing to decorate your home, create fantastic wearable art, gifts, and accessories. And now, with decorator blocks, it's as easy as loading the glaze onto your block, pressing the block onto your surface, and lifting to reveal the fabulous look. Anyone can do it.